Look at your goals right now, your dream car, your career choice, your idea of success, maybe even your ideal partner. Now, here's a hard truth. What if none of those desires are actually yours? What if you've spent years climbing a ladder that someone else leaned against the wall? Most people believe they choose what they want. But according to one of the most unsettling ideas in psychology and philosophy, that's not true. The French thinker René Girard argued that human desire is contagious. We don't simply want things. We learn what to want by watching other people want them. And once you see this invisible force operating in your life, you can't unsee it. Let's start with a simple question. How do you know what you want? Most people answer confidently, I just do. But think deeper. Did you always want the same things? Probably not. As children, we wanted toys because other children wanted them. A toy sitting alone on a shelf isn't very interesting. But the moment another kid grabs it, suddenly it becomes valuable. Psychologists call this social proof. Girard took the idea further. He believed desire itself is copied. He called it mimetic desire. Mimetic simply means imitation. In other words, we imitate not only behaviors, we imitate desires. You don't just copy what people do, you copy what people want. Think about trends. A watch becomes popular. A clothing brand becomes desirable. A career becomes prestigious. A city becomes exciting. The object itself may not have changed. What changed is the number of people desiring it. Your brain interprets other people's attention as evidence of value. This is partly driven by dopamine. Most people think dopamine is the pleasure chemical. It's not. Dopamine is more about anticipation. It motivates pursuit. When everyone around you signals that something matters, your brain starts releasing dopamine before you even have the thing. You become excited by the chase, not necessarily by the reward. Here's the disturbing part. If everyone around you suddenly decided that success meant becoming a shepherd in the mountains, how many of your current goals would survive? Pause for a second. Would you still want what you want? Now let's talk about something many adults experience but rarely understand. You finally achieve the goal. You get the promotion, you buy the expensive thing, you earn the status. And then, nothing, or at least much less satisfaction than expected. Why? Because often you never wanted the object itself. You wanted what the object symbolized. Respect, validation, belonging, admiration. When the achievement arrives, the illusion disappears. The mind suddenly realizes the trophy cannot provide the emotional experience it promised. This creates something psychologists call cognitive dissonance, a painful gap between expectation and reality. You thought the goal would transform your life. It didn't. So now your brain has two choices. Either admit the goal was flawed, or find another goal. Most people choose the second option. They immediately start chasing the next thing, the bigger house, the higher salary, the better title, the more attractive partner. This creates what psychologists call the Hedonic Treadmill. You keep running, but psychologically, you stay in the same place. The scary thing isn't failing. It's succeeding and discovering you were chasing someone else's dream. Imagine spending 10 years pursuing a destination only to realize you never chose the route. Who handed you the map? This raises an uncomfortable question. If so many desires are borrowed, can we ever know what we genuinely want? The answer is yes, but it requires distance. Think about this. The loudest influences in your life are usually invisible. Friends, family, social media, culture, coworkers, algorithms. When you're constantly surrounded by signals telling you what matters, it's difficult to hear your own voice. This is why solitude has always been powerful. not because being alone is magical, but because it reduces interference. When external signals become quieter, internal signals become clearer. Neuroscience gives us another reason. Your brain possesses neuroplasticity. That means it can rewire itself. The desires you've learned are not permanently installed. They can be questioned, examined, and replaced. A useful test is this: ask yourself, if nobody could ever see this achievement, would I still want it? No applause, no likes, no status, no admiration. Would the goal still matter? Many goals disappear under that test, and that's okay, because every false desire you remove creates space for an authentic one. The goal isn't to eliminate influence completely. That's impossible. The goal is awareness, to notice when you're chasing a prize and when you're actually chasing another person's approval. Ask yourself something uncomfortable. How many of your ambitions would disappear if nobody was watching? Here's a simple exercise you can do today. Take a piece of paper, write down your 3 biggest goals. Now, beside each one, answer 3 questions. Who taught me to want this? When did I first start wanting it? Would I still pursue it if nobody knew I achieved it? Don't rush. The purpose isn't to judge your goals. The purpose is to investigate them. You may discover that a goal is deeply authentic, or you may discover you've been carrying someone else's dream for years. Either insight is valuable. Most people spend their lives chasing what they're told to want. They inherit desires. They inherit ambitions. They inherit definitions of success. And they never stop long enough to ask whether those desires belong to them. But awareness changes everything. The moment you see mimetic desire operating in your life, you gain a rare kind of freedom. Not freedom from influence, freedom from unconscious influence. And that might be the beginning of a more authentic life. A life built on deliberate choices instead of borrowed dreams. If you enjoy exploring the hidden psychological forces that shape your behavior, subscribe, because this channel isn't for people who want comforting illusions. It's for people willing to question the scripts they've been handed and build a life that actually belongs to them. And until the next video, pay attention to what you're chasing. You might discover you're not chasing the prize at all.